56, 45, 35, 24. Upside at 78, 88, 97, 7,006, and 15. Pivot 71, resistance at 78, 88, 97, 70.06, and 15. Downside support at 64, 56, 45, 35, and 24. All right. See what the day brings. As the market is trading, there was unemployment this morning, trading around off of the unemployment situation. We'll see what that brings us. They rallied it off of it and then just kind of stalled. Bonds kind of did the reversal. They stalled as well. So we'll see what that is going to bring today as far as trading is concerned. We are scalping these markets, looking for opportunities to scalp based on the levels we just gave out. In addition to any price action trades that might occur, a combination of both of those gives us our setups for this morning. The levels there we use as a guide to the day. We are scalping them. Yeah, they might be coming up with a decision on the tariffs, so we have to be mindful of that. That's supposedly the the Supreme Court might come up with a decision on tariffs, maybe at 9 o'clock. So definitely be mindful of that. Let's see here. It says that it's not a given, but there's a good chance the Supreme Court could rule on the legality of President Trump's tariffs today. After setting a Friday as a decision day, SCOTUS has expedited the tariff case due to oversized impact on businesses and the economy, and had to issue Trump's across the board reciprocal tariffs on trading partners that are aimed at reducing the trade deficit, as well as more targeted ones designed to counter fentanyl trading, trafficking against China, Mexico, and Canada as the market kind of fluctuates here against our pivot area. So they're definitely going to come up with some kind of results because I said they would. So that is going to be coming out maybe at 9 o'clock. We'll see. They don't really tell you when they're going to come out, but so we'll see what happens. That is, will the tariffs be required refunds? Likely, but not guaranteed. The court should clarify if the decision applies retroactively or to previous payments made or prospectively to ongoing forward basis. So as we come up here, we got 76 on the upside. 78 on the upside. See what it wants to do. Again, we are scalping these markets. We're looking for opportunities to scalp based on the levels that you see in the chat. We'll have them in the chat in a bit. And if you need them, I can give them verbally. They're there to kind of guide us through the day. Not coming up here to the 77 area. Now I like to scaling around my levels. So I'm in here at 76, 77, 78, and 79. Trying to give us a 77, maybe. Stopped literally a tick before again. Oh my goodness, we're going to do the same thing again. Same like yesterday. So one tick before. I have to be careful there at 77. Yeah, well, again, we are at the mercy of the market. Sometimes it works out perfectly. Sometimes it works out perfectly, not so much perfect. But it works out perfectly for the ones who are not so much perfect. That's frustrating. All right, be mindful there at 77. Literally a tick away. If you have blue bands come in there, 77.5. We have a 78 level. So, all right, quickly drifting back down here. Again, we are scaling. There are the levels in the chat for those of you who might have missed them. So our first resistance area there is 78, as you can see. Like I said, I like scaling around there. So that's coming out at probably about 9 o'clock here. We'll see. There's also a possibility that some of the tariffs might be struck down while others are upheld. But even if the White House loses the entire case, there are several additional ways the administration can reimpose the tariffs for now. What is not in doubt is the ability to continue collecting tariffs at roughly the same level in terms of overall revenue, said the Treasury Secretary, who, uh, who has already prepared a backup plan. All right, now we're coming up here to the first resistance area. If you're very aggressive and you kept the 77, you can a little bit of a rotation. A little volatility here this morning. After all, it is unemployment. And we got up there to 78. So if you got in there, getting a nice little rotation here. Well, at least they got up to 78 this time. See, that was, can't complain. We complain when we kind of miss it by a little bit, but at that time we got it by just a little bit. So, all right, now coming up here to 79 if you're leaving it in. Otherwise, our next level on the upside is up at the 88 area. Okay, that's good too. All right, well, we didn't get the 77, but we got the 70 and 79. So, yes, we could complain, but it worked out. All right, next level on the upside, looking at up here at 88. Let's see if we have any other numbers coming out this morning besides the unemployment number, which again was a little less than expected. They were expecting like 65 on the non-farm payrolls or 60. It came out at 40. But the jobless rate went down to 4.4, which was we're expecting 4.6. So, and last month it went up like weird amount. So it's goofy. We do have consumer sentiment coming out here at 9 o'clock, so that could be a little bit of a market mover in addition to anything that the Supreme Court decides. Also, we have Fed speak as market upticks here. We're looking at the 88 area next. And there's also a Fed speak at 9 o'clock. So that could be add some fuel to the fire as we continue to uptick, looking at the 88 area. Trying to get us to 88 area, 87 there. It's teasing us with the 87 again. See what it wants to do here. All right, now we got the 87. Now let's see if we want to do 80. Oh, that was a nice little surprise. Sometimes, again, this time we got it perfect. We got the 88, 87, and it was a nice little rotation. So missed the 77 on the first level there, but we got the 87 here against our 88. So I guess that was a nice little trade there. Okay. Yeah. You just got to stay focused, keep plugging away, keep your stops in place in case we're wrong, and look for the next opportunity. And that was a nice little rotation there against our 88 area. And remember, I say it's an area simply because we cannot be perfect. A nice little rotation there against our level, even though, again, we didn't get the 88, but Again, resistance areas are areas that you can sell. Support areas are areas that you can buy. And then there's price action trades. We average about 4 to 5 trades a day, and we are focused on the morning hours to give us those opportunities. Low support would be if you're very aggressive around the 77 area there. If you're looking for a rotation here, if you're trying to stay short. So we'll see what we got. Some things coming out here at the top of the hour, and again, they did say that the government or White House is ready to uh, have have a game plan in case the Supreme Court rules against them again. But there's various ways that the Supreme Court is going to rule against them. Doesn't necessarily mean they rule against them, but doesn't mean that they have to give them back. Yeah, a whole bunch of. So it's going to be a little bit of one of the initial rotation is going to be a little bit choppy because if you read one part of it, then you read the next part of it, it could change uh, how you look at it and how it plays out. So be careful, if you're going to be uh, trading that when it comes out. All right. Well, now we're just kind of chopping up here at the top level. All right. We're just kind of chopping around here a little bit. Again, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat. All right, we're coming back down there. A little support if you're a little aggressive right in this area, but only if you're very aggressive. Otherwise, you're looking for it on the 64 on the downside. Being a little bit choppy here with the market because of the unknown here with the All right, nice little rotation there. If you jumped in at the 77 area, we suggested that that might be a little bit of support. Got right down to it there and had a nice little pop back up. So if you did jump in, that's one of our price action plays that we talked about in addition to the levels. The market creates those opportunities. We just don't come up with them willy-nilly. So nice little rotation against that. Again, you're just taking advantage of the ebbs and flows that popped up to 80 really quick and then rotated back down. So nice little trade if you did jump in. All right, the next. All right, there you go. Oh, nice job. All right, it's kind of hanging here in this middle of this range. We do have a couple numbers coming out here. Uh, 9 o'clock again. I don't know if they're going to release the Supreme Court right at 9 o'clock or not, but we do have consumer sentiment, and like I said, if they do release the Supreme Court stuff, it could get very very choppy there. So be very careful. Nothing wrong with just watching it instead of trying to think it's doing something. Maybe if you want to, I mean, you just don't know what kind of reaction the market's going to, um, you know, play out when when they release it and how they say it. It's positive, it's negative. I mean, they could have amendments to it, and so you have to be extremely careful if you're going to be trading that stuff. Okay, so all right, just chop in here a little bit. All right, continues to downtick here now. Again, we're coming right here. A little support at our pivot if you're very, very aggressive. Otherwise, we're looking at the 64, considering it's taking off like this. I was looking at the 64 area now. That first support level, only if you're very aggressively you dip your toe against the pivot there. Otherwise, the first 64 and market might be a little bit nervous about what's coming out. See, here, 65 is the green band in our 5 minute there. 64 and a half is a blue band in our hourly, so a couple layers of support there. All right. So again, if you did jump in against our pivot there, you did take a little bit of heat, but you get paid off. Okay, got a number in 10 minutes, big number, 67 on 64, I'm sorry, on the downside, our next support level. You can see there in the chat. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. I hope you're right there, Don. All right, market just kind of floating around our pivot area here, so nothing to get too excited about. All right, very, very choppy, as you can see here. Quickly rotating back up here. You never know, they could have done something. They could have released something. You got to be careful here, especially around now, especially with all this stuff. So you never know when they're going to release it, even though there's no time stamp as in regards to when the Fed's going to release their stuff. I'm sorry, the Supreme Court. But we do know that there's going to be a number at 9. Could move the market a little bit. Again, if you had anything going on there, you were long against our pivot there, but otherwise we were flat. We were actually waiting for the 64 on the downside. Ooh, it's all over the place. Very, very choppy. A little nervous, right? Market's a little nervous with what's going on, what might be happening. Like I said, they could. I don't know. We're always going to be a little bit behind the times here when it regards to knowing when they're going to put this stuff out. I don't have anything yet, but then again, I'm not going to get it right away anyway. So very, very choppy here. Again, just be a little bit careful. Stay flat. It's just don't know what's going on here. You don't know what's going to be happening.
I'm sitting here on the sideline, but I was really tempted to short it at that 79.50 and then
Blue
pop
band
right down
there.
to 73.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Uh,
it's I don't think it's worth it could go.
they could run on you very quickly here.
I know it. It could just like that.
Yeah.
So when in doubt, stay out.
Oh, I like that. When in doubt, stay out. I like that. Very good.
As you always say, there's tomorrow.
There's always another trade, right?
Yeah, always another trade. Yeah.
You gotta be
Those
patient. We do have a
yeah,
number coming out here in about a minute or so that we know of. It's definitely a little nervous. You can see it. The market's very nervous, just very nervous.
it is. Yeah.
People are settling up their positions, kind of stay flat here. They're a little nervous, so that's why you get the um, shifts back and forth very quickly.
Yeah. I'm sure Don's already in a trade.
Yeah. I'm looking for 62, but I won't tell anybody.
No, I'm finished for today.
Okay, good.
Okay.
It was a good football game last night. If you were watching that,
I did not I I cut it off a little bit after halftime, but
I
because I had real early appointment this morning, but uh what was the in play controversial?
yeah, yeah, it definitely was pass interference. But again, last play of the game, heave ho. It's one thing if
Yeah,
it happened like with 2 minutes left, then they would have called it. But last play of the game, you gotta. I can't call that. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
it's definitely a foul, but again, the team that puts themselves in that position to have to do that, that's what's going to happen.
right. Yeah,
You know. All right, number coming out here now. See what it does. Numbers are out, uh, and but not much, not much of nothing.
yeah.
Surprising. Guess they're going to be
Ladder
waiting.
ticket. Mm.
And then the Bears are playing Saturday night. That'll be something. I feel like you now every year with the AC.
Yeah,
See what happens there. Their defense has to step up. If their defense doesn't step up, they're going to lose.
right. Yeah.
Or they can have to score early, early and often. Otherwise, the defense is just not doing it. All right. Well, you can see choppiness here, a little rally, then coming to break. Bonds are rallying, but they rallied before the number, so something is up. Maybe they have this SCOTUS thing. I'm looking at my news feed here. I'm going to be delayed on my news feed, so I don't have anything that comes out unless it's a flash. So we had some crazy rains here yesterday. Rained like so hard. A lot of flooding around here. All right, very choppy here. Again, nothing to get too excited about. More importantly, something that we should stay out of, just because it is kind of, we try to, minimize our risk as much as possible. Obviously, when it's an oxymoron when you're talking about futures trading, but we can try.
Okay.
We don't have to put our necks out when we know it's going to get chopped off.
Yeah. Had mine chopped off way too many times.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, well, there you go, Don.
Don likes that white knuckle express and those cheekbones just tight. It keeps
Well,
him in
the
shape.
alternative is for him to go out and fix a truck or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is much more enjoyable than trying to fix a truck.
It's a whole lot easier, that's for sure.
All right, it's very choppy, very, very choppy. So just again, like I said, probably something we have to kind of just stay out of until we know that the numbers are out, or decision by the Supreme Court is out. Okay, it's just again chopping, so to get too excited about.
Couldn't resist, and I jumped in there around the 82 level. I'm flat now.
All right. As you can tell, nobody here has to listen to me, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, I did too.
And he said
82 was a good spot.
And he said he was done.
Well, I was, and it just jumped out at me, and I had to take it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not done until I walk away from this thing.
That's how you get rid of the white knuckles. You just put it on and leave.
There you go. Oh my goodness.
But I got faith in my 62 down there. I don't know if it's going to make it or not, but I have faith in it.
Yeah, you seem to get it eventually.
Yeah. Question is, can you just, I said, what was it, yesterday or the day before? I sat in one, and it went against me, and and finally it came back to break even in a little bit, and I says, that's good enough. I finally bailed it.
Yeah. So Craig Reinberger,
no decision today from the
posted. So they're not going to rule today then?
No, I guess not.
Or announce it. Okay.
Now you can leave officially. Not
All right.
be afraid you
Yeah.
missed anything. All right. Now coming down here, we got support 64. So let's see what we want to do down here. We get down there.
I got a green band in there at 65.50.
Yeah, 60, yeah, green band's in there. I got it at 65.50. Blue band in the hourly is coming in there at 65, and it stops at 66 and a half. So that's surprising.
Imagine that. Yeah, where I want to goes on the other side. Never fails.
All right, now we're coming down there to 64. Do what it wants to do here. 62 is the settlement price. Getting a little volatility, maybe fact that they decided no decision, might be nervous to the market, who knows? All right, trying to see what we want to do here with our 64 area.
At least get us back to 66.
Trying. Well, we got down to 63, giving us a little bit of a pop. Take some of that off.
Mine went to 62.
I got up to, no, we popped up a little higher than that. It's already at 64 and a half. Oh, yeah, on
The
the
low.
downside. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
It
Yeah, we
should have
got
went
filled.
to
We got,
6. I'm sorry.
I just said we got filled at 63. I didn't say what the low was. All right, just kind of hanging here. Again, peel some off if you don't like the price action.
Whoa.
Yeah. Keep
I
your
didn't like
stops in
that.
place. And support level we're looking at here is 56. You gotta always keep your stop in place. 2,000 lot there at 60. All right, quickly coming down here to the 56. That's why we keep your stops in place. Never know when we're gonna get some energy in the market. And all of a sudden we got a trade now. All right. There we go.
Now let's
Yeah.
get it to 66.
All right, we got a 2,000 lot that's sitting there at 6. Oh, they took them out. Woo! Somebody sold 2,000. Somebody bought 2,000 at 60. They did take them out. I tell you, be surprised. They love those big numbers, and anytime you put a 500 lot, anytime you put any big number up there, they take them out. All right, so we get right down to the 56. We ran kind of chopped at 64 for a second, gave you a chance to at least get out of some, and then flushed it down here to the 56 area. Hopefully, you were able to. Obviously, you need to have your orders in place there. Got down to 55.75 there, and then pop back up here. So you should have got filled down there. Obviously, like I said, you got to have your orders in place to be able to take advantage of that quick rotation. And obviously, you have to get out of the first one. That's why we keep your stops in place.
Come on, 66.
And again, nice little rotation there. That's why you keep your stop in place so that you can get out at one and get back into the next trade. And obviously, the next trade you're making up for uh, a lot of a lot of a lot. And this is also a good way of getting out of taking more than 2 or 3 points out of a trade.
So I need you to reach through the cyberspace and turn my computer off.
Oh, come on now. It's
He's having
Friday.
he's having too much fun right now. He can't even lose.
Oh
It's
my
9/11.
goodness. I- uh, it's way past 9 o'clock, 11 minutes. Um,
That is not right.
Yeah. No, you get it.
it's toying with you. It's gonna hit it. You know it's gonna hit it. Or you hope it is.
Yeah. That's probably closer to the truth.
Okay. I'm out of
Are
here.
you out
You
of here
guys have
now?
a great weekend. Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna shut it down.
All
I
right.
need to. I've hit my goal and exceeded it a little bit, and I know better.
Good.
So
Well, you have a great weekend.
okay,
Take
you
care,
guys
Philip.
too. Go Bears.
There's a 66 for
All
you, Don.
right.
There
Now
you go.
I'm through.
No, you got it.
Okay.
Oh, great. You guys
That's
leave me
awesome.
alone. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Enjoy, Saul.
Okay. Thank you.
Take care, Philip.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
We got a 1534 VIX. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's not bad actually. Surprised it's that high. That low.
Well, I knew it was going to go to 66. I didn't think it was going to go this high.
Yeah, coming all the way back up here. Got 78 a green band and hourly there. So nice rotation. And I don't know, they kind of got panicky there and flushed it through. Came right down to our 56 support there. You can see there are the levels that came right down to 56 and then popped it back up here. Nice little opportunity there if you did jump in.
Hey, quick shout out to James V. Hey, James, I sent you the opportunity to subscribe. Take care of it now. Sarah L, the same. Take care of it now. I don't want you to get exited. And once it's done, just give us a hi sign in chat. Yeah, I posted it in the chat feature for you.
All right. A nice little rotation there off of those lows. Again, volatility here still pretty good. Again, that's why we have to actually get some, get in, get out, get out, get in, get out, and get back in, and had a nice rotation here off of the 54 area. Market giving us a run all the way back up here. If you were happen to stay long against that, you're going to obviously have a nice trade there. All right. Well, we definitely some action here today. I had to stay away from it for a while, but you know, last 5-10 minutes, some nice little moves there.
Yeah, today's Friday.
Yeah. All right.
Hey,
Well, yeah. What's up?
I was going to ask you a question. Around where you live, is it mostly like rolling hills through that part of the country?
No, not here.
It's pretty flat.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's flat. There is one spot actually that there used to be a garbage dump here, and
It's a big hill now.
it's a big hill. It's actually the highest point in Illinois,
We have some of those around here also.
right? It's the highest point in Illinois there, and they put a golf course on top of the hill there. That's what they did with that.
I bet you it's pretty when it snows.
Oh, it's always pretty when it snows, you know. But it's a golf course, so it's not like you can go up there and they did a nice job of fixing it up. But yeah, it is the highest point in Illinois. I know a lot of people don't know that, but and it's pretty if you get up there on a clear day. Um, we're about 25 miles away from the big city down in downtown Chicago, where you can see all the high rises and everything,
Mhm.
and all the big buildings that they've been building on Hancock's building and the Sears Tower, whatever the Sears Tower, Willis Tower, and all that.
Is
Anyway, you could
is that
see it from on a clear day. You can see it all the way
is
down.
that what the Sears Towers is now? The Willis Tower?
Yeah,
It had a gorgeous view from up top.
yeah, no, it still does. I mean, you can still go up there. It still has a viewing. Hancock building. Yeah, I mean, I've been to both of them. I don't know. The only reason I've been to both of them is I take people who come into the city and visitors, and they want to go check it out. So otherwise, I don't think I'd ever go there by myself. But do have a nice restaurant up there, and so if you want to have a nice dinner, and it's beautiful. Have especially on a clear night. They have a bar up there, so they have some nice. Well, the Willis, the Hancock building, for sure.
I've never been to it. It must have not been in the tour book my wife was reading when we went.
Which one, the Hancock or Sears?
The Hancock,
Oh, that was the biggest building before they built the.
the Sears building.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
right. Yeah,
Oh, we had to go to the Sears building,
yeah.
and then we had to take the tour of the Little Italy, then the architecture tour, then the boat tour.
Mm. The architecture tour. They probably brought you to the Board of Trade.
Oh, well, I was actually at the Board of Trade doing a class there,
Uh-huh.
and we were upstairs, and during one of the breaks or something, the guy from the trade came and took us on a little tour,
Mm-hmm.
and we get to see the pits, and it was real interesting.
Yeah.
But everybody was big. They're all 6'6" guys.
Well, there used to be a place where a lot of the football players, after they played with the Bears, they
Yeah.
would go and they wanted to go start trading because it was, they had a little bit of money and they could go and do that. So, and they're big.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes
It
you
is.
needed the size there sometimes to be in the pit.
I asked that old boy giving the tour, I said, "Do these guys make money?" He said, "Oh yeah, about 20 days a month they make money, but then they lose money, a couple of days a month." But he said it's nothing for them to be $1 million down at the end of the day, and I about choked.
No, not everybody. There are
No.
a handful of guys that, a handful of guys that was the kid, and not normally. That was a bad day.
Oh
I
man.
will tell you, one of the biggest traders on the floor. His thing was $100,000 either way. Doesn't matter to him. Like that would be like what his goal would be. Not even, but if he that was what his thing was, 100 grand, which was about 3,000 ticks, bond ticks.
That's amazing.
Yeah, one way or the other, 100 grand. That was his thing. Yeah, the numbers you could, some of these traders with the numbers that they played out, the it is amazing.
How do you? Is it their risk tolerance or this? But that they don't let it bother them.
First of all, it's a matter of getting used to it.
Yeah.
Okay, the question is really how they got there to that
Yeah.
point, right? Obviously, you start out small, and then you get confidence. You have a couple good days, and you keep at that level. There's a lot of people who, if you make, you know, 3-5 thousand a day, you're happy. They'll make that 3-5 thousand a day and say, well, I can make 10 or 20, and they'll keep going, and they'll keep raising their size. They'll keep raising, and then now it's 10,000 a day is not a big deal. Then they get up to 15,000 a day. So it's how you get to that point where 100 grand is not is like norm, or even less or more, whatever. But the point is that
Yeah.
like I'd be happy if I made 5 or 6 or 10 grand, a day would be a good week. But that was my goal, was to make like 100 ticks a day, which would be about 3 grand. Obviously, there were days where I made more and days I lost more,
Yeah.
but that would be it for me. But some guys, their minimum would be, like I said, it was nice little rotation up there. I got up to 89 there, but we already tested the 87, got up here to 90. So very aggressive if you took anything up here. So if I wanted to say, okay, I'm not going to leave until I make 10 grand a day, and then you get to that point, then I'm not going to leave till I make 20 grand a day. So it's how you get there, and I just didn't want to. I didn't want to just stay there all day and keep risking. They got to stay. They're staying there all day, and I don't know. It's the way some of these guys got there is amazing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great.
I think I've never really thought of it. You're right though. It's how you get there.
Right. It's the mentality that you have to get to that point, because if you had a really good day, if you made 5 grand a day, you're happy, and you're like, okay, I don't have to sit there and risk it and maybe lose money, but their mentality is, I got to keep going. Got to
Yeah.
keep going. It's a different mentality. It's definitely a different mentality.
There's some days I can come in and sit down and trade and keep trading. It doesn't matter. It just kind
Yeah.
of like I'm enjoying it. Everything's unfolding like it should.
Right.
And there's other days I've got my mind doing something else. Look, I made enough. Let's get out of here.
Right. Exactly.
I
Yeah,
don't care
I
if it's
agree.
1 point or 10 points.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that was my thing too. But these guys, again, it was a different time too. You weren't home. Uh, you were trading on the floor. You could leave. Here you could do the same thing, but it's a different trade. Then there was also camaraderie. All right, 97 up here is our next level that we're focused in. A nice rotation there, all the way from those lows. And the last, they go from the 50. I wish I knew they were going to go all the way back up here if I held on to them.
Yeah. I got out 66 way too soon.
Yeah, I mean, I was out at 60, and I was happy when they took that 2,000 lot out. Can you imagine somebody sold that 2,000 lot at 60? Somebody bought it. How are they doing?
Well, you think they sold it because they were short to begin with, and
I don't know, man.
that's
He
the
was in
problem
there.
with those
Yeah,
domes. I can't tell which side they're
no,
on.
exactly. That's always the problem, right? You just never know. Are they adding? Are they adding to their position, or are they getting out of longs?
Yeah.
Are they happy that they got back? Who knows? But somebody bought them, and somebody sold them, and somebody's happy, and even the person who sold them, maybe he was taking profits, or he's not too happy because it's trading at 90 now.
Mm.
2,000. Let's see, that's 100,000 at 100,000 at point. You're down 30, 60 to 90 is 30, 100,000, 3 million. All right. No, like saying the 10,000 a point. Let me see. 2,000 times, no, that's right. 100,000 a point. Right. Jeez. That's 3 million. So there you have somebody's up 3 million. I don't know if they're up 3 million, but that's a nice trade either way. All right, we're upticking here. 97. Our next level here that we're focused in on, coming quickly up here to, let's see if we can get it or not. Who knows? All right, well, we got the 96. Don, why'd you tell me we were going to go all the way back up here?
Well, the other day when I had that low down there,
All right,
it
game.
we went
Giving us 2
down,
points
then
here.
it reversed out of it, and we should have went to 08, and it didn't make it. It got up to I think 675 and dove, went back to that low. That 8's still in play, but we're gonna have to break this high at 930, wherever this high is. I'll have to wait and see what it's gonna do.
All right, we did get a quick 2 points there against the 96. Got up to 6.25, so be a little bit careful there. 97, maybe do the 98. Still on the same bar, so still could be trading the 97 too, depending on how aggressive you want it to be. I got up there to 775. All right, well, we're here at 98 now. See what it wants to do around here. And if you made money on the 96, then you're good to go. Trying to give us something in the 98 if you got in there. All right, there's a couple points there against the 98, so maybe a little adjustment. That's how you can make those adjustments to the market and minimize your risk a little bit. All right, nice little trade there for us against this level. Man, I wish I knew we were going to go from 56 to 90s and 96 here as we did.
Come on, 92.
Right. Trying to stay short against that and paid off here very nicely.
Oh, yes.
All right, nice little trade there.
70-19, 70-20 area.
You might have to call it quits after all these trades here.
I'm done. I'm not taking any more. I see it, but I don't know how long it's going to take it to get there. And we should hit that 8. But we have to break that 88.50 in order for it to come to.
All right. Well, next level on the upside there is up there at the 06, which was the high from the other day. Bonds are really not doing anything. I don't know what it's a 50-point rotation here. If we get back up there, it's a nice little trade there. If you did jump in against a couple of these areas, we've got some nice rotations against some of our levels.
I just want to see if it's going to break the 88.50.
Yeah, I don't know. Not yet.
We're at 98. It's supposed to stop it.
All right. Next area there we're going to look at on
There
the
we
top
go.
side is the 06. Get up there.
Well, Mr. Saul, I'm done.
Okay.
I will see
Glad
you
you hung
Monday.
around. Yeah. Have a good weekend. Talk to you on Monday.
Hope everyone has a great weekend. Talk to y'all Monday.
All right. All right. Hopefully, some of you were able to jump in on some of our opportunities here this morning. Got a few opportunities, so we can't complain. Most importantly, we have to be patient and wait for market to give us those opportunities.
Hey,
All
quick
right,
shout out to James V. Hey, James, don't want to let you go, but I'm going to have to let you go for not communicating. Sarah L. Same. Don't want to do that. So, James and Sarah, if you can give us a quick high sign that you're there and paying attention, we can start there. For those that are joining us through our socials, we're going to exit our socials now. So, come into daytradingmarkets.org. While you're in our socials, like us, share us, repost us, heart us, and put in daytradingmarkets.org in your browser and join us live.